Did you know that there's a special Christmas spirit out there? It's not the candy canes or the carols. It's the feeling of miracles happening all around us. In a small village tucked away between rolling hills and whispering trees, there lived a boy named Samuel. His world was filled with love from his mum and dad, even if their home was small and their pockets were often empty. It wasn't fancy or grand, but it was perfect for Samuel and his pet dog, Rusty. They shared everything: dreams, laughter, and most importantly, their faith in God. Samuel was an altar boy at the church, helping every Sunday by lighting candles and polishing the pulpit. He loved the Bible stories, especially about Jesus healing the sick. But sadly, Samuel himself wasn't so healthy. A cough lingered in his lungs, and his skin, it was as pale as snow. The doctor visited them at home, shook his head, and said, "Samuel, your illness is serious. You need medicine right away." Mama and Papa hugged their little boy tight and promised to get him the medicine. When they returned home, empty-handed, Samuel asked, with big eyes, "But how?" Then he saw his parents sitting close together, whispering in low voices. After a moment, his dad knelt down beside him. "Samuel, my boy, we've tried our best, but we don't have enough money for your medicine. It's too expensive for us." Samuel didn't understand why his parents couldn't get him the medicine. He was only 8 years old. All he knew was that his breathing hurt and he wanted to feel better. So, instead of asking more questions, he climbed into bed and closed his eyes tightly, wishing to wake up feeling brand new. As he drifted off to sleep, he heard his dog Rusty barking outside. Then Samuel started to dream. In his dream, he saw a man dressed in white robes walking towards him. The man had a warm smile and kind eyes, and he carried a staff that sparkled with light. "Are you Jesus?" Samuel asked, surprised. The man nodded gently. "Yes, I am here to help you, Samuel. Why are you sad?" Samuel explained that he wanted to feel better so he could go to school and play with his friends. Jesus listened patiently. "I know how much you love your school and your friends, Samuel. That's why I want to give you a special gift." Jesus touched Samuel's chest with his staff, and a bright light filled the room. Suddenly, Samuel felt lighter, not just in his dream, but also in real life. He opened his eyes and jumped out of bed. To his surprise, his breathing was easy, and for the first time in a long time, he could breathe deeply without pain. Overjoyed, he ran to his parents' room and woke them up, shouting, "I can breathe! I can breathe!" Mama and Papa rushed to Samuel's side, tears streaming down their faces. They held their son tight, thanking God for this Christmas miracle. Samuel's healing brought light into their lives, brighter than any star in the sky. Now, in the village where Samuel lived, there was a beautiful church with tall spires reaching for the clouds. Every year, on Christmas Eve, the church came alive with music and lights. People from all around came to celebrate the birth of Jesus, the baby who grew up to become their savior. On this special night, everyone would gather together and tell each other, "Merry Christmas." This year, the church was filled with excited children, singing carols. Among them were Samuel and his best friend, Emma. Her family was like his second family, and she was the only one who could make him laugh when he was feeling down. Together, they sang about shepherds and angels, about the Star of Bethlehem and the joy of the season. And in their hearts, they hoped for a miracle. When the church bells rang and the choir started singing Silent Night, Samuel felt a deep sadness inside him. He wished he could stay happy and healthy forever. Closing his eyes, he whispered a silent prayer. "Dear Jesus, I don't want toys or presents. All I ask is to be healthy so I can help my parents." Suddenly, he felt something warm and wonderful spread through his body, chasing away the sadness. Samuel opened his eyes wide and noticed a small box on the bench next to him. Wondering who left it there, he slowly opened the lid. Inside lay a beautiful silver bell. It tinkled softly when he shook it, making him smile. Samuel slipped the bell into his pocket, hugging Emma. He felt a sense of peace, knowing that Jesus had heard his wish. That night, when Samuel went to bed, his parents sat beside him, their faces filled with worry. They didn't have the heart to tell him that they couldn't get him the medicine, but they also didn't want him to be ill anymore. Samuel snuggled under his blanket, clutching the silver bell. Though he was still a bit scared, he felt Jesus' presence beside him, whispering, "Don't be afraid, I am with you. I love you and I will always take care of you." And Samuel believed him. As the night wore on, the wind outside grew stronger and the rain began to fall in torrents. Suddenly, there was a loud knock on the door, and Papa went to check. Standing at the entrance was a drenched man with a basket in his hand. "I'm sorry to bother you, sir," he said, "but I saw your son playing earlier. He dropped this bell, and I'm not sure what to do." Samuel's dad looked at the bell in his hands, then at Samuel, and finally back at the man. Suddenly, he realized who it was. It was Thomas, a member of their church who had gone to visit a sick relative in another village. "Oh, thank you, Thomas. We've been looking for this. Come in, come in." Thomas entered their humble home, bringing with him the scent of wet leaves and a basket covered with a blanket. "This is for Samuel," he said with a smile. "I believe this might cheer him up a bit." As he lifted the blanket, they saw rows of delicious food, bread, fruit, even some chicken broth. Samuel's dad and mum couldn't hide their surprise. "Thomas, why are you doing this?" they asked. "It's Christmas, my friends," Thomas replied. "And remember the story of the wise men. They brought gifts to the newborn king. Let me do the same for our little friend here. Merry Christmas, Samuel." Samuel's face lit up with joy. It was a Christmas miracle. His parents might not have had enough money to buy him presents, but someone from their church had taken care of him. Christmas morning arrived, and with it, a new hope. The sun shone brightly, promising a beautiful day. Samuel woke up early, eager to show his parents the food Thomas had brought. When he got up, he noticed his breathing was easier and his chest didn't hurt anymore. Overjoyed, he ran to his parents' room, shouting, "Look, I can breathe without my inhaler." His parents rushed to Samuel and hugged him tightly, tears of joy streaming down their faces. For them, it was a Christmas miracle. After breakfast, Samuel joined the other children in the street. They sang carols, played games, and laughed together. Samuel felt happier than he had in a long time. He wasn't just celebrating Christmas, he was celebrating life, health, and friendship. Later that day, the whole village gathered at the church for the Christmas service. The pastor told the story of Jesus' birth and how he brought hope and healing to everyone. Samuel listened intently, remembering the night before and the warmth he had felt in his heart. He knew it was Jesus who had healed him. After the service, people gathered in the town square, sharing food and drink. Samuel and his friends ran around the square, playing tag and enjoying the festive atmosphere. They chased each other under the watchful gaze of adults who smiled at the children's joy. As the evening drew to a close, Samuel walked home with his parents. The road was dark, but the stars twinkled above them, guiding their way. Samuel snuggled close to his parents, feeling their love and warmth enveloping him like a warm blanket. He knew he was blessed to have them and the entire village that cared for him. That night, tucked under his covers, Samuel thought about everything that had happened. He had received a beautiful gift and experienced true friendship. Most importantly, he knew Jesus loved him. Samuel closed his eyes, a smile on his face. As he drifted to sleep, he whispered a silent prayer of thanks, promising to always believe in the Christmas miracle and to keep Jesus in his heart.